Hey everybody, so you have heard me talking about and wearing and showing in vlogs two different all matte neutral eye palettes, and I thought instead of doing a dedicated video to discuss each one, I would just make it very simple and compare and contrast them all in one video. So today we are talking about the Tarte, I want to read this to get it right, Clay Play Face Shaping Palette. Here's the packaging. It's the cardboard packaging. You have a really nice mirror. And then here's the, I'm going to turn it upside down. Here are the shades. You get 12 shades. 9, the smaller ones here, are considered eyeshadows or brow powders. And then these are face shaping powders. And then, I'll get more into that in a minute. The other one we're going to talk about is the Makeup Revolution Ultra Eye Contour Palette. Again, 12 shades. These are all designated as just eyeshadows. Although, you know, there really are no rules in makeup. I assume you could also use this to contour somewhere on your face as well. No mirror. Did come with a brush, which I have gotten rid of. So let's get back to the Tarte one first. Oh, and I should clear up. I purchased both of these with my own money from Ulta. So the Tarte Clay Shaping Palette I ordered the day it was released. It has Amazonian clay, which is allegedly in there to extend the wear of the shadow. It has vanilla extract in there, which is supposed to help be an antioxidant. And there are mineral pigments that are supposed to soothe your skin. I don't know about you, but I personally don't reach for eyeshadows based on what it may or may not do for your skin. And I think the amounts that are in here are so negligible, and especially if on top of eye primer, that I don't think that's a factor, but I just wanted to share with you that's what's in here. It is described as a neutral to smoky palette, and I will tell you this, it smells really nice. It's kind of that mixture of clay and vanilla scent. It's a very lovely scent. It's a heavy-duty palette. It's very sturdy. It travels well. I can tell you that because I've taken it with me a few places. It looks kind of like they've broken it down sort of into a neutral, warm, and cool tone as far as the eyeshadows go. But, and then you have your contour powders here. If we are going to just focus on the contour part, I think all of these shades are much too warm for contouring. So I don't use them for anything on my face. These are, I use all 12 as eyes only. So that's the Tarte one. I will swatch momentarily. And then the Makeup Revolution one, you know what, I should have backed up. Kind of a huge point I didn't mention. This baby is $46. This one is the Makeup Revolution Ultra Eye Contour Palette. It is a very inexpensive, dare I say cheap, plastic packaging. No mirror. It did come with a brush, but I never use the brushes that come with them. There are 12 eyeshadows. They are described as cool, neutral, and warm tone. I think we can see neutral, cool, and warm. And not a lot of description online about anything like that. The Tarte one does come with an instruction book or step-by-step guide, which I have promptly misplaced. So, I am going to cut to a demo really quickly, and in case you weren't aware, I am wearing both eyeshadow palettes on my face right now. This side is the Tarte, and this side is the Makeup Revolution. And I don't know if you would have noticed if I hadn't told you, but let me know if you did. And I will come back, swatch, and give you my final thoughts. All right, for quick demonstration purposes, I'm gonna do the Tarte palette on this side and the Makeup Revolution on this side. So, Tarte side first, and I'm trying to approximate the same color. So, I am using this, not this, I'm using these 3 shadows on the Tarte eye, and I am using these 3 shadows on the, on the Makeup Revolution side. And just so you can see how the differences and how they apply and so forth. So I primed both eyes with the Milani eyeshadow primer, and I am wearing the Clinique Chubby Mascara on my lashes, and that's all I have on my eyes. So I'm gonna do the crease color first. I'm gonna do the mid-tone brown. It's not the darkest shade, it's not the lightest shade, with just a, you know, domed brush, nothing special. I'll list everything in the description box. And I'm just sticking it right in the socket line and going back and forth, swirling and concentrating more on the outside. Now I've wiped off my brush and I'm gonna do the same thing with the other mid-tone brown on the Makeup Revolution side, just so you can see the step-by-step process. This is the Tarte Eye. It has 2 layers of the crease color. This is the Makeup Revolution 1 layer of the mid-tone crease, and I haven't used anything other than this brush, which is the Sigma E40, to blend both sides out. Okay, now I'm gonna lay down the lid color. For that, I'm using just the ivory shade in the middle here and a MAC 239. And I'll use the mirror, might as well. And I'm just patting and bringing it all the way up to the other color. And I'm adding a few layers because I want it to be nice and opaque. Now I'm gonna flip the brush over and use the color that's closest to it is this one here. So I'm cheating a little using that 4th color. And this is the Makeup Revolution side. I'm adding another layer. That was pretty opaque on the first shot. All right, now I'm going in with a Real Techniques. This is one of their heavy metal brushes. I will list the actual number because I can't remember what it is, but it's basically like a MAC 217. And I'm going in with the darkest of the browns just to do the outer corner and crease a little bit. So I stamp it in the corner. This is the Tarte. And then bring it up a little bit into the crease. All right, I've wiped off my brush and now I'm taking the Makeup Revolution shade, that darker one. It's a lot more red brown than the other one, but we're gonna keep it as realistic, apples to apples, the way they've set it up. This one is not as pigmented, so I'm gonna double dip. Now I'm gonna go underneath the eye with that first mid-tone brown, just real lightly. And same for the Makeup Revolution eye. You could use a pencil brush. Now I'm gonna go back with my flat brush and put that lightest shade, just pat it on, brighten it up just a little bit. Although I will say that the Tarte eye did stay brighter, didn't blend out. And then the same on the Makeup Revolution side. And then just to blend everything out, I'm gonna use that ivory shade, the lid shade, and just hit the brow bone a little bit. And then wipe off the brush and do the same with the ivory shade from the Makeup Revolution palette. Okay, and there you have it. Tarte on this side, Makeup Revolution on this side. Can you tell the difference? Can you tell a $31 difference? All right, people, let's get swatching. I'm gonna start with this quadrant here and then work my way across. This to me seems the most neutral. This would be the cool toned one and this is the warm, but you tell me. All right, let's start with the one on the left. Okay, we have the mid-tone, darkest brown, highlighter shade, and this is the face sculpting powder from the first quadrant. The middle tone, this is the mid-tone brown, this is the darkest shade, this is the highlight shade, and this is the contour shade. This is the very last quadrant on the right. If you're looking at the palette, this is the lightest shade, this is the lightest shade, this is the darkest shade, this is the mid-tone brown, and that is the face contour shade, the big rectangle on the bottom. And there you have, very awkwardly swatched, all 12 shades from the Tarte Clay Play palette. Okay, here we have the Makeup Revolution Ultra Eye Contour Light and Shade palette, and I'm gonna swatch in the order that you're saying. This quadrant first, middle quadrant next, and then the warmest quadrant. I'd like to think this is neutral, cool, and warm. Let's see how they swatch up. From left to right, This is the mid-tone shade. This is the darkest shade. This is the ivory shade. And then this one is the largest rectangle in the palette. Now from the middle palette, this is the mid-tone shade. This is the darkest shade. This is the lightest shade. And then this is the large rectangular shade at the bottom or top of the palette, depending on how you look at it. Okay, last quad, all the way to the right, we have the mid-tone shade, the darkest shade, the lightest shade, and I don't know if you can see this one. This is a peachy toned, the large rectangle part of the quad. There you have it. And there you have it, not so perfectly swatched, aligned, but all 12 Makeup Revolution Ultra Eye Contour Light and Shade shades. Okay, as you can tell by the tutorial and by the way that they're swatched, there are slight differences. The Tarte palette is very pigmented. Right out the bat, it swatches darker. But I noticed that when I apply it, the application is negligibly different. Once you're using a brush instead of your finger, which is really how most of us intend to use the palette, this one applies almost identically to the Makeup Revolution. Obviously, the Makeup Revolution doesn't have the fancy packaging. It doesn't swatch as prettily as the Tarte palette, but in application, I feel like it plays out exactly the same. I have them both. I have taken a few trips where I brought both because I thought I would reach for one shade from one and one shade from the other. And it turns out, I thought this was going to be one of my most favorite, most used palettes. The one I reach for almost on a daily basis is the Makeup Revolution one. It's $15. It's really hard to justify another $31 just for the Tarte. It's lovely. If you are a Tarte collector, by all means, it's not a bad palette. The packaging is far superior. The mirror is actually quite excellent, especially for travel. But if you are wanting to splurge on something a little more shiny and fun, that's where I would put the money. For instance, I wear this look all the time, and then just to zhuzh it up a little bit, I add my Chanel Illusion d'Ombre cream to powder shadow. Lately, I've been reaching for the shade 90, Convoitise, and I just use a synthetic brush, dip it in, and just pat it in the center, towards the center of the lid, just to give it a little zhuzh. If I had to do this all over again and I could only purchase one palette, it would be the $15 one. So those are my conclusions. Let me know if you have both palettes, what you think. Would you reach for one over the other? Do you feel like they're two completely separate palettes and you need both in your life? I'm curious to know. I'll put the links below where you can find everything and all the brushes that I used in the demo and all that good stuff. Let me know what you think. I look forward to reading your comments, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.